Good afternoon. My name is Michael Wilds. For your reference, my phone number is 212-753-6085. I'm Patricia Rausch's attorney. We are here today in Washington several days after Mother's Day to meet with our legislators. Unfortunately, it took 11 years for the United States government to own up for this egregious matter. What is U.S. citizenship worth? I am holding 2 passports of 2 American girls that were abducted 11 years ago, taken forcibly from their mother, and removed to Saudi Arabia, an ally of the United States government. How does these passports of these 2 girls help them when they live in black veils in a Middle Eastern country that does not believe in the rights of women at all? What is the function or approach that our American representatives should take when citizens of the United States are in jeopardy and their lives are at risk? Would you be satisfied if your child was kidnapped and removed from the United States and be told by an American representative that they are there for commercial interests? I think not. People died for Saudi Arabia. Soldiers drew blood. American people for that country. And this is how they treat our citizens? And this is how the State Department treats a mother? Our government has brokered for oil and for military installations. They have brokered our daughters. We will not allow this to continue. Patricia's daughters were kidnapped in 1986. They were taken when she was nice enough to let the father of those girls visit with the kids for a short while. She had full custody of those kids, and they were removed and taken to Saudi Arabia. Federal, state, and Interpol Red Alert warrants were all put on him. Would you believe that about 2 years after these warrants were issued, this man set foot in the United States, was not arrested, was given VIP treatment, and was escorted with his father to a hospital so that he can get the benefit of our good American doctors and medicine? Because of my client, several statutes have passed these 2 houses. The International Child Abduction Statute. The American government signed on to the Hague Convention, making child abduction an international crime. And the State Department, in large part because of my client, set up the Children's Issues Desk. None of these legal provisions, none of these vehicles have helped bring back her girls in the last 11 years. We are here today to ask our legislators, our senators, our congressmen, to go back to the drawing board, because we will not let another month, another 2 months, another 11 years pass until those girls are back on American soil. As recent as yesterday, and in anticipation that we would get a lot of media coverage, the Saudi government, along with our ambassador in Saudi Arabia, Ambassador Fowler, suggested that my client return to Saudi Arabia for yet another visit. We were able to get Patricia into Saudi Arabia 2 years ago. It was during that visit in Saudi Arabia that she was told she would see her children on several occasions and in private meetings. She was holed up in a hotel room for a month. She saw her kids for 2 hours and was humiliated as she was searched before she went into the room. You know what happened at that meeting, ladies and gentlemen? The girls broke down and cried. They want their mother. They want to leave. My client is a Christian. She is a woman. She has no rights in their legal system. These are people that are brokering billions of dollars of deals and getting our military equipment, and yet they harbor and they hostage our children, our citizens. It is our hope, after you speak with my client today and meeting with these legislators, that legislation will be passed, commissions will be established, and pressure will be brought to bear so that these girls will talk with their mother on U.S. soil. I introduce Patricia Rausch.
Thank you, Michael. I just want to thank Michael Wilds for his absolute commitment to helping me get my daughters home, and he's doing it all pro bono, and I can't thank him and his family enough for all their dedicated hard work. I'm going to read a statement because I wanted to make sure that I was able to include everything that I have to say, and then we'll talk about it off the cuff. Two days ago was Mother's Day, a day we set aside to honor and thank our moms for all they've done for us. I'm one of America's moms with 2 teenage daughters, but instead of the usual flowers, candy, and a Sunday brunch with my girls, I got on a plane to come to my nation's capital to lobby for my daughters' rights as young American women, for their womanhood, to lobby for their rights to be free and to be able to participate in their life's choices, and to be able to benefit from all the rights and privileges we all take for granted living in our wonderful free society here in the United States. My daughters were stolen from me 11.5 years ago. An extraordinary amount of time, a torturous amount of time in the life of a mother and 2 small children. I married a Saudi national sent here by his government to get an education. He was an absent father and caused me and my young daughters tremendous grief and hardship while he was with us in the United States. I visited him in Saudi Arabia, and he almost killed me in a fit of anger one night. Luckily, I was able to leave Saudi Arabia a few months after that with my girls. When I was finally safe back in the United States with my children, back in my neighborhood where I was born and raised, where I felt safe, where I had played as a child, this man came back and hired a detective to find me and finally took my little girls. Ever since that day, January 25th, 1986, my girls and I have been prisoners, held hostage by this man, the Saudi government, and the U.S. Department of State. I lobbied everyone in Congress. I never let it go. I got hand-delivered letters to Presidents Reagan, Bush, and Clinton. 54 senators signed a letter to King Fahd for the release of my daughters. Due to my lobbying, the U.S. signed the Hague Treaty regarding international parental abduction in 1987. The International Abduction Crime Bill was signed by President Clinton December 1993, and a special desk at the State Department was opened in October 1987. These were all my lobbying efforts. Many, many parents and children have been spared the agony that my daughters and I have had to endure due to these measures. This was all done without the cooperation of the Department of State, and in fact, due to my lobbying for the return of my girls in 1986, 9 months after they were stolen, the Saudis were going to give them back. And the U.S. Department of State refused to allow the U.S. ambassador at that time to go into a meeting with the Saudis to arrange the details of their release. The Saudis then told me, quote, "You'll see your children if and when we decide," unquote. "Your government won't help you." They videotaped my little girls in their captor's home and sent copies to the U.S. Embassy in Riyadh, much like the films of Terry Anderson when he was held hostage. This cruel and videotape right here is all I have left of my daughters. The State Department called the Saudis their clients. I was never allowed any contact with my daughters whatsoever. I was forced to turn to mercenary groups to rescue my daughters. Altogether, I hired 3 separate groups of mercenaries. 2 men were killed during the Gulf War while en route to rescue my daughters. My sick elderly mother and I have gone bankrupt trying to get my girls out of Saudi Arabia. I've lost a lot of my vitality, youth, and health trying to get my girls out of Saudi Arabia. My girls have lost everything: their mother, their family, their childhood, their education.